period, whether it's female, male, or whatever. Far as what she's talking about, I feel like that's between the person and God. I think the spirituality and where the person's heart is what matters, not the sexuality. For as unless they're taking advantage of, smaller children, but otherwise than that, you have two consenting adults. That's not for me to judge, and it's not.
Exactly.
Because we have to think about when people were first born, they had, I can't say it, vaginas and penises.
Yeah.
So who's to say what's wrong and who's to say what's right? So I don't judge it one way or the other.
What about those people that are born with both of them?
Oh God.
Then someone has to make a choice to cut it off, or they have some people that kept both of them.
Oh, I know they do. I know they do. But now, who made that mistake? Is that the devil, or is that God's creation?
Saying?
It's foolishness, you all, to even think that you can determine what someone's sexuality is. Even in the animal species, there are geese, male geese, book up for life. People don't believe that, but just go check the information. Why are we so concerned about other people's bedrooms? Why are we so concerned about that? I don't understand it. If, like you said, Lemitra, it's two consenting adults, and if that's what they choose to do, then it's none of our business.
That's right.
But the thing of it is, it bothers me the most is that Eddie Long was a Pied Piper against it. I'm not beating him up because he's gay. I'm not doing that at all. I'm on his case because he was living a double life. You don't realize how many children that sit there in church that know that they have an attraction for boys or for other girls that sit there and hear the preacher bash and say it's wrong, and then their parents, because the child might be a little effeminate or the little girl might be a little macho looking, they go, you see, you heard what the pastor say, you're going to hell. And so these children are tormented because they're hearing all this stuff and they go, I can't help it. I don't know why. And then you got this guy marching down the streets of Atlanta with 10,000 people preaching against this thing, and there he was, and they said it was sodomy.
Oh, really?
Sodomy. In other words, he wasn't even. Now, these are allegations, you all. Don't get us wrong. So these are just allegations, but they are consistent allegations. I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be against something, don't be doing the same thing that you're telling people not to do, and especially from a platform where you can influence people.
Well, I've been doing the research on it, you know what I mean? And it was a minister named Timothy McDonald who suggested that Long's activities centered around the whole anti-gay thing was because of him being funded by George Bush's administration, and which was called the what is it?
The initiative,
the
faith-based initiative.
Faith-based initiative,
which is against the law. So they were funding him on the premise that he would put up this school or do these things against gay people.
Right.
And then they gave him federal money to do it.
Yeah,
Isn't that against the law?
I mean, and just about everybody that's under the faith-based initiative are all anti-gay ministers. Every single one of them. So you know what I mean. Bush was.
I don't think it's against the law though.
No, it's against the law to the extent that they can't discriminate. If a gay person came in there, they couldn't discriminate against them.
Right.
They could give them the money. I know the president could do anything he wants to do, and that's how Bush was reelected, because he's got those silly people out there and that are hating gay people. And that's the part I can't understand. Why y'all hating on gay people? Them shoes you got on, lady, them pretty pumps you got on, that hat you wearing, that hairstyle you got, guys, them boots that you with them what's the name of them shoes? Everybody, them steel toe shoes that everybody was wearing for the longest. What you call it?
You talking about Timberlands?
Timberlands. Y'all know who was the first ones to do that?
Gay people.
Gay people. The Village. What was it called?
The Village people.
The Village people. That was the first time that look came about. That car you driving, the colors of the paint on your walls. Most of that, 99% that was designed by gay people. So what is the big thing? Now, I can understand people saying, well, it might mean the end of society. Don't y'all ever think that, because there's always going to be plenty of men that's going to want the woman.
Oh, yes,
and I'm trying to stay saved up here and not say what they really want.
Yes, sir.
But y'all know what I'm talking about. The world is no chance. They're saying that 3 to 5% of the population is gay. What is the issue? What is the hatred? 410-481-1400.
You know what the hatred is?
410-481-1400. What is it, Lemitra?
The hatred is if I can see myself in you. There's some weaknesses I see in myself, and I see it in you. So, of course, I'm going to talk about it so nobody see it in me. If I talk about you across the street, no one would notice what's going on with me. So if I project it over there, what's going on, then nobody notice what I'm not doing or what I am doing.
So it's a defense mechanism.
Yep.
Exactly.
A defense mechanism. So in reality, well, I always say the ones that screaming it out is normally got a little
These are
problem.
the ones that have issues with it.
And that's what I realized. I mean, at one point, you know what I mean? Because we also grew up with gay relatives and things and such. You know what I mean? So you can't avoid it. You know what I mean? But I realized, I was like, wait a minute. We've all been discriminated against black people. I'm not going to waste my time discriminating against somebody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We would be.
Right. And at the same time, what would I care about what you do with your thing in your bedroom?
Exactly.
That's gay.
That's gay. Why you up in there like, listen, we got a caller. Lucky, are you there? Lucky?
Hello?
Hello, how are you, sir? You have a question or comment?
No, I just had a comment about the Bishop Eddie Long allegations.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's actually crazy. You know, even though it's allegations, like you don't know if he did it or not, but you, in the way you do, it's just funny to me that I grew up in the church and everything. It just make it hard for young folks to join into the church. Like the older people want you to come to church, but then you got this all over the news of allegations of preachers doing this. Those are supposed to be people that you look up to, that you go for assistance. You feel me? Now you scared the door, like, he might grab me. You know, you might have a problem with something. He be like, well, come on, let's talk about this on a personal level. And then, you know, like, wait, his arm just slid down my back. I don't like that. Right? You know, that's not. I know it's funny, but I'm just serious. Like,
you don't know.
You know, like
it
that's
makes you
crazy.
suspicious.
Like, wow.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you, Lucky.
It's like people's responsibility. The pastor's responsibility is so important because some people in their churches look at their pastor like they are God.
Right.
Exactly.
So whatever they do or say is right.
It's what happened. The pastor said it, so I'm gonna do it.
Right. And that's it.
Because they coming straight from God, and like I said, I was raised in the church, so I'm like, hey, I know I went to my pastor a few times, you know, and I'm like, but these allegations is just crazy because they're coming out by the flock now, like, hey, he used to touch me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool because
he
was the pastor, so he was doing it. I'm thinking, okay, well, is this right or wrong? But the pastor doing it, so it must be right.
Well, Lucky, tell me this. Now, if these were girls that he'd been doing this with, do you think it would be the same kind of uproar?
It would be because they were young. If they were young girls, yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of John Arbuckle?
Yes.
Did you hear about him with the girls?
Yeah, it's still to me, myself. This is my opinion. If you're a pastor and you're married and you're preaching the word of God and everything, you should be there to assist, not to try to fondle another woman, another man, or anything. Point blank, period.
Well,
But they're still a man, though, right?
Yeah, but your boy.
But they're still a man.
So what? You still a man? It don't matter. You're a man of God.
We look up the pastors and preachers as if they're, as you say, God.
Yeah, Jesus.
We shouldn't look up to everybody like that, but we put them on a pedestal.
Yep.
And we should put them on pedestals.
And people be so surprised when stuff like that happen.
Right.
get discouraged.
But look at your boy Jamal. You know what I mean? He had like 2 or 3 accusations.
that?
Jamal.
Right.
Yeah, but they was just because they was with girls. You know, his church stayed packed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we're like, well, he's a guy. Yeah, you know, and that's the reason because they like, oh, he gay. Because it was guys. It's wrong, period. Either or. If it's a guy or girl, you're still wrong.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Jamal, that knucklehead, he had a guy to go down to the doctor's office to take the fraternity test for him. And of course, everybody in there was like, boy, you ain't Jamal Bryant. Get out of here if I call the police on you.
Like, you feel me? Like they don't know who you are. You on TV. You are allergy. You got a belly.
Right.
We know you.
Yep.
All right, Lucky, we got another caller here. Miss Richardson, are you returning? And Miss Richardson, is that you?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
She hung up?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Mrs. Richardson, she hung up. She had called us before. But this is just amazing. It is so sad. It is so sad. I have a recording studio.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to cut you off.
What?
But I just got breaking news
What?
that the boy, Eddie Long, has an alleged sex tape that was just released.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, breaking news.
Yes.
I was looking at I was tweeting. I was looking at Questlove's tweet. He said Will we rush to less judgment on Bishop Eddie Long if he didn't have such a porn moniker? Like his name, it's just his name.
Eddie Long.
Right. I wish my name was Eddie Long before this happened. Maybe I'd be more cool.
Eddie Long,
Wait a
Brokeback
minute,
Mountain
the name
Part
of the
3.
school for the boys is Longfellows.